Hey everyone, and welcome to our series on the Daily Stoic.
February 1st, for the hot-headed man. In Meditations, Aurelius says, "Keep this thought handy when you feel a fit of rage coming on. It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human, and therefore manlier. A real man doesn't give way to anger and discontent, and such a person has strength, courage, and endurance, unlike the angry and complaining. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Why do athletes trash talk each other? Why do they deliberately say offensive and nasty things to their competitors when the refs aren't looking? To provoke a reaction. Distracting and angering opponents is an easy way to knock them off their game. Try to remember that the next time you find yourself getting mad. Anger is not impressive or tough. It's a mistake. It's weakness. Depending on what you're doing, it might even be a trap that someone laid for you. You know that students do this to piss off their teachers. Children do this to test their parents. And siblings do it to bother their brothers or sisters. Back to sports. Fans and opponents called boxer Joe Louis the ring robot because he was utterly unemotional. His cold, cool demeanor was far more terrifying than any crazed look or emotional outburst would have been. Strength is the ability to maintain a hold of oneself. It's being the person who never gets mad, who cannot be rattled, because they're in control of their passions, rather than controlled by their passions. For some of us, this is a big question. For some of us, it's a small one. But how do you deal with your anger? Do you express it? Do you put words to it? Do you speak to it? Or do you suppress it? Do you bottle it up and funnel it into something else like exercise or creative works? Or do you simply calm down, let it wash over you, and then leave your consciousness? Now, I don't think there's one correct answer for how to deal with anger, but whether you express, suppress, or calm down, whatever you do, make sure you reward yourself when you do it successfully, because you've earned it.
Hey everyone, today's passage really hit home for me because I have, and probably always will have some anger management issues. And unsurprisingly, one of the most effective ways of dealing with these problems and these issues was through reading and meditation. I read a book called On Anger by the Vietnamese Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh. And in the book, he compares a situation in which anger arises to a house on fire. And he says, if your house is on fire, the first and most urgent thing you can do is go and put out the fire, unsurprisingly. He says, you don't go chasing after the person who you suspect to be the arsonist, right? So in our lives, we often react to the person or the thing that made us angry instead of stopping and dealing with our internal issues first, right? Our house is on fire. That anger inside of us is destroying our house. And instead of putting out the fire, we go looking for the person who caused it. When meanwhile, we should be looking in the mirror. So, if you have the time, if you have the opportunity, go and find the book, On Anger by Thich Nhat Hanh. And I guarantee you'll enjoy it. Cheers.
As always, this passage comes from The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, an amazing book that I can't recommend strongly enough.